Loves here, and today I am announcing, well, this has already been released, but I just released it. It's the Chiptune Adventures. So I've been really into chiptune recently, and I thought I'd just share a couple things I learned. I've decided to do a full 12 songs. Originally, I was only going to do 8, but I decided to do 12, and I didn't care if they were very long. I wanted to write songs that were very reminiscent of old video games because they're very popular today, and I've been requested. Out of everything I've been asked to compose, I probably get asked to write chiptune songs the most. And it's just because you generally, when you start out as a composer for games, you run into a lot of indie game composers game developers who tend to write things or who tend to develop games that are 8-bit. They're easier to design, and so naturally, and they have a certain aesthetic to them, and you can focus on gameplay instead of amazing graphics. And so this came out as a result. And there's only one on here that was meant for a release. That's the third track. It's called Fire Run. That was composed in FL, but I've ended up composing most of them inside of Renoise because I wanted to compose them as I did with as they used to be composed with trackers. And so to me, that was a really cool thing. I was into it because it's the third major way to really write songs when it comes to writing songs in a computer. And it was the first way that it really happened, and it's got a unique way of looking at production, and so I chose to go with Renoise as my choice of tracker. Some things I learned along the way, I had to learn theory in sort of a different light because the way it works in Renoise sort of is it all has to be just in your head. I usually didn't have a piano in front of me besides the MIDI keyboard, but I wrote a lot of them on my laptop while I was at school because my school and work schedule is so nuts now that I'll have like a couple hours in between, but I'm not at my rig. So I figured that would be a good time to work on these sorts of projects. So while I was working, I had to figure out the computer keyboard a lot better for the piano, the QWERTY keyboard, however you say it. It's the one that uses the letters on your keyboard for your keyboard, if that makes any sense. Another thing I learned was how much chiptune appears in modern songs. It's like in so many more songs than I ever realized before. And I learned a lot about the history. I left out FM because that's like 90s chiptune and on, and then it sort of transformed. Video games began to get much more intricate in their game, the way they produce sounds, and so it's not necessarily like chiptune as it was back in like the 80s. And so I was really sort of into that era where you were limited to sort of a noise generator. Now I threw drums out the window because I wanted I had a drum pack that I really enjoyed, so I wanted to just use that. But I just noticed that like blips, arpeggiation techniques, and the sounds of chiptune are everywhere. And also your melodic writing and just general songwriting will improve a lot because you're not focused on making it sound amazing. Now I did do full mixes of everything because I wanted to, and sometimes because I listen to a ton. I've listened to chiptune like straight for like a whole month now. Like it's insane how much chiptune it's always playing because I'm just so fascinated by the huge variety that can be accomplished. It's sort of like the piano. It's just really good for harmony. And whenever you have something that's really strong in tonal qualities, it can translate to just a ton of emotions if you can get it right. So these are just some things I learned. I wanted to share it with you. Very cool. And I'm going to add it to my stack. And I've now got 3 projects already on there. I've got the Excursions into Drum and Bass, Colors, the Glitch Hop EP, and then I've also got an Alien project that I did as my final for school, for Citrus College. And so now I'm going to be adding this to it. So one day that will be full, but for now we're going at it project by project. So anyways, this is the genre challenge, just moving my way up. It's just supposed to be about growth and just doing works that are specified towards an idea. It's just a good way to keep myself directionally focused and have this as a goal that I can really see and watch grow, which is going to be really cool. If you have any questions, let me know. There will be a link to the video of the album playthrough. You can download the album completely free on my website if you are a video game company, because every time I've been approached, the game sort of flops because the artist or the programmer flopped out or whatever. But I'd be very interested in composing just for games, and I've done licensing before for other things. But if you have any questions, let me know. Subscribe, support me on Patreon, and have a blessed